that by unity, cooperation, and hard work, we shall achieve our aspiration for our country and the good life that we always wish for the Philippines. Let us work together to realize our hopes and dreams for our people and nation.
Kaya ba natin to? Kaya.
Good morning, University of the Philippines, Baguio, and welcome to Forum Discussion on Creativepreneurship. So I'm Jending Galan from Go Negosyo, and on behalf of our Go Negosyo founder, Mr. Joey Concepcion, thank you for being all here. This forum discussion on creativepreneurship is brought to you by Go Negosyo in partnership with Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Tourism, and University of the Philippines, Baguio. We would like to thank everyone for being here, and to start off the program, may we call on our official program partners for this event. May we call on Chancellor Raimundo Rovillos for his welcome remarks. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to welcome you to Teatro Amianan, one of our newest buildings here in UP Baguio. This is also part of our contribution to creative city or the direction towards design category in the UNESCO. Right now, we have been declared as a UNESCO city for crafts and folk arts, but that should not limit us to this category. So now we have to think about design thinking. We have to and we really have to seriously think about making the creative economy grow, because that's the whole idea behind becoming a creative economy. It's about job creation. It's about business and entrepreneurship. So this topic is very relevant to this year's Entacul celebration. So we will all learn from this. Let us all keep an open mind and learn from each other. Thank you very much, and welcome to UP Baguio.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. Is ARD Grace Baluyan of DTI here na po? Yeah. Hi, ma'am. Let's welcome po Assistant Regional Director of DTI, Ms. Grace Baluyan.
Thank you, Ms. Jen. Okay, so naimbag nga bigat tayo amin. We take this opportunity to extend our appreciation to UP Baguio and the PCE for the conduct of this activity. Truly, we need to come out with out-of-the-box ideas to pursue our goals for economic prosperity. A strategy is MSME promotion, considering their contribution to job creation and ultimately poverty alleviation. The key word is disruption innovation. They say we live in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Gone are the days when we can just sit down and wait. Now our businesses are under threats not only from our competitors, but likewise on factors which may overtake us and make our products and service irrelevant. Strategies such as Blue Ocean and the one mentioned by the President, design thinking, are now being considered by many successful businessmen. It is no longer enough that we generate profits. We also need to look at people and the planet to be sustainable. As important as creating value is capturing back that value for our businesses to continue to survive. I don't want to preempt any of the presentations. I am here to listen to, but before that, let me just talk briefly on the context of DTI in disruptive innovation. More of our efforts at DTI is towards making our MSMEs more globally competitive, helping them become regionally integrated, resilient, sustainable, and innovative, thereby performing as key drivers of inclusive Philippine economic growth. The Philippine Plan 2017-2022 identifies 3 focus areas, namely business environment, business capacity, and business opportunities, with the following 5 strategic goals: improve business climate, improve access to finance, enhance management and labor capacities, improve access to technology and innovation and improve access to market. This activity today touches the three focus areas and the three strategic goals of MSME development. Our MSMEs and potential MSMEs, our students, are fortunate to be in this forum to gather more insights on how to start or grow your businesses. We hope to see the application of these new learnings in your respective businesses and projects. We need to see not only numbers, meaning more MSMEs in the region, but likewise growing or expanding businesses. Indeed, the MSME sector is not only the business of DTI, it is everybody's business. Let us continue to work together to build this region by helping our MSME sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ARD Grace. And to start off our program, let's call on stage our moderator this morning, the Managing Director of Thames Business International School. Let us all welcome Mr. Joel Santos. A round of applause, please.
Okay. Good morning, Baguio. Thank you. Let me briefly introduce myself. So I'm the founder, managing director of Thames International Business School. So today, I'd like to start off, before moderating, I'd like to start off by giving you an outlook of what the creative economy is. So I'm going to talk about briefly what is the economy of creativity. Why do we say economy of creativity? Because creativity now is not just about being artistic and having a product and having your works displayed. Creativity contributes to the economy. So I am part of the Creative Innovators Program. That's Thames International, together with the British Council and the DTI and the Design Center, have banded together to actually jumpstart what we call the creative economy. So I think the first question is, how do we earn from our creativity? Is there really money to be earned from creativity? The first one is, there are three types of creative things: creative products, creative services, and creative ideas. So we earn from what we call creative products. So the sale of goods, such as our artworks. There's a lot of craft and artworks here in Baguio: fashion, furniture, accessories, recorded. So these are the physical products and goods that you can touch. Then we can actually also earn from ourselves. So if you're a graphic designer, so it's basically the employment of your skills. You're a graphic designer, you know, advertising, you know, illustration. You can actually sing and dance. Those are your creative services. So you get paid for that. Now, lastly, where I think the Philippines is lacking in is what you call making money from our creative ideas. How do you do that? You can only make money from your creative idea if your idea is registered. Right? So we call that your intellectual property licensing. When you have your intellectual properties or your ideas licensed, then you can charge royalties. I'll give you something you're familiar with. Familiar with Avengers? Marvel. Who is the creator? Stan Lee. Imagine if Stan Lee did not register everything he created in the Avengers. Will he be able to make movies out of it? He did not make the movie. Who made the movie for the Avengers? Disney. Who are they paying to make the movie? They're paying Stan Lee. Because Stan Lee, para sa Pilipinas, komikero lang yan, gumagawa lang yan ng comics. Totoo naman gumagawa lang siya ng comics. But yung comics niya, ginawang movie ng Disney. So he started with just drawing, then he made stories, then it became a comic. Since I was in high school 30 years ago, I've been reading Marvel comics. Dati pinagtatawan lang kami, ano ba kayong nagbabasa-basa ng comics dyan? But look at it now, right? Same. Who's another one who licensed the idea? Her stories. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter. Imagine if she wrote all of that and she never registered the idea, will she be able to become one of the richest persons in the UK? So there is money to be made on your creative ideas, but you have to register them. That's why the DTI has all of these facilities available. Don't think we do a lot of selling of creative products. Yes, we do animation. Those are creative services. But our ideas, we don't really register. So that's one of the things that I think the Philippines... Now, question is, why is the creative economy big anyway? Ano bang creative economy? The creative economy is composed of television, visual arts, newspapers, advertising, architecture, books, performing arts, gaming, movies, music, radio. About 11 industries. Is it big? You know how much they're worth globally? The creative economy is 100 trillion pesos. But that was before our president became president. Sorry. Nag-devalue na tayo. So it's actually worth more than that. It's about 120 trillion pesos na. So there is worth to devaluation. So, and it employs 30 million people. The question is, malaki ba yung 100 trillion? Is it big compared to what? You might be surprised that you think the globe, the PLDTs and the things are bigger, but the creative economy globally is bigger than the whole telco industry. Can you imagine that? The creative industry is $2.2 trillion, while the telco, the telecommunication industry, mobile, phones, and everything like that, 1.8 trillion. But why do you think they're so big? Because you see the globes, you see the PLDTs, you see all of these AT&T, you see these big companies. But the creative economy, that's why it is much better from my point of view, is not composed of big companies. Kasi pag big companies, konti lang yayaman. Kung sino lang may-ari ng mamalaking kumpanya. But the creative economy is composed of 30 million people. It means 30 million people are owners of the creative businesses. So where are we as a country in the creative industry? So kung ang mundo 100 trillion pesos and employs 30 million pesos, 30 million people, the Philippines is 650 billion pesos. Hindi naman maliit. Employs 6 million people. But what's your potential? Our potential is why are we only looking at the Philippines as our local market? Kasi our crafts are only sold within the local business, within the local communities. Our potential is if we are able to tap what the world needs, then your potential is everything between 650 billion pesos all the way to 100 trillion pesos. It's about time the Philippines exports its creativity. The market is so huge, it's 100 trillion pesos, and they want more. But who's taking advantage of that in Asia? Thailand is taking advantage of that. Japan, Korea. Tayo nga, we're buying K-pop, right? So they're exporting their TV shows. Tayo, are we exporting? May potential lang si Itbulaga. Don't make it. So there is really potential. We're just not exporting it. We're just looking at our own market. So from 650 billion to 100 trillion pesos, that's our potential. Ika nga ni Trump. It's huge. Diba? We can go very, very big. So what's our game plan? So as I said, I'm part of the Creative Innovators Program. That's with the British Council DTI Design Center in partnership with us, Thames International, and Apple the App. You know, he is the champion of what we're trying to do. We have brought 15 Creative Hub managers to the UK. That was me 3 days ago. That's 15 of us. Creative Hubs is like Baguio is a creative city. The Creative Hub are the little enclaves where creatives gather together. So we got 15 Creative Hub managers, brought them to the UK so that they can see what the potential is of the Philippines. And later, for those, we're also having a Creative Entrepreneurship Scholarship, which is given by Thames International. So we are teaching the artists business and technology. I'll give you an example. Di ba, pag sinabi lang, when a parent says, ayokong mag-music ang anak ko, musikero lang, magbabanda-banda lang yan. But if you combine music, technology, and business, what can it become? You use it every day. Anybody from the audience? It can be Spotify. You combine music, business, and technology, hindi ka lang banda-banda. Pwede ka maging Spotify. So that's what I talk about. It's huge. Diba? It's huge. Hindi ka lang musikero. You can be a Spotify. But we have to combine it with business and technology. And that's why we're having this forum being led by Negosyo. How do we build our Philippine creative economy through creative entrepreneurship and tap into the global market? And so today, in our forum, we have a very distinguished set of panelists, so who I will call one by one. And if you could go to the stage as I call you, so that we can have a discussion of how do we really take advantage and maximize and bring out the potential of the Filipino creative. Diba? To be able to tap into the 100 trillion peso market abroad. So first, let me call on stage diba? Our first panelist, who is an artist, entrepreneur, and founder of Arco ni Apo Gallery. One of the most distinguished sculptors, and is from Baguio, now native Baguio, Mr. Benhar Villanueva. Let's give him a big round of applause, please. Second, we have the product design artist. Lahat ho ng love letter dumaan dito sa kumpanya na to. You know, the head of product design, one of the owners of Papel Melrote, Mr. Robert Alejandro. Yan. Ito yung mga works ni Sir Benhar. Oops. You're not holding paper, you're holding your cat. Yan, so yan ho yung mga works ng Papel Melrote. Okay. Next. My neighbor, my new neighbor, who is an artist, business person, and now the president of Warner Music Philippines, Mr. Christian Ian Monsod. Yan. So he had his own band, you know, in college, and then he ended up in business, is now running one of the biggest music companies in the Philippines. Now my idol, he is the founder and president of GNB Franchise Developers. He is the enabler of anybody who has an idea and wants to make it in a business, Mr. Armando Bartolome. Butch is one of the perfect mentors for any entrepreneur. So if you want to have a business, make sure you catch Butch later. Next, we talked about business, technology, and creativity. We're bringing the technology part. So today we have for us the general manager of DragonPay, Mr. MJ Panginiban. And last but not the least, our very own Miss Adelaida Lim, President of HABI, Philippine Textile Council, and for Baguio, she's the head of the Baguio Arts and Crafts Collaborative. Okay, so where am I going to... So, I'm going to ask each and everyone to maybe just give a 1 to 3 minute introduction of yourselves before we start the question and answer. Who would like to start? Mr. Benhar, you want to start? Okay. I'll get the mic.
Good morning. Good morning po. Ako po si Benhar Villanueva and my wife Dolores or Lolit were blessed with 8 children. As an artist, paano ko siya bubuhayin? Paano namin pakakanin yung 8? Marami ko ikukwento eh. Iniisip ko kung paano simulan eh. Pero magsisimula ako sa less is more. Doon ako natuto. dahil wala ako. So, nung nag-aaral ako ng painting, ginagamit ko lang po yung 3 colors. Tinting colors. I mix the primary colors.
Yeah, flash it while there's...
And then ang canvas ko, plywood. Hindi ko kayang bumili ng canvas. Nag-aral po ako ng painting sa College of Music and Fine Arts sa PWU. Pilwomanian ako. Classmate ko ron si Jolly Benitez, yung naging presidente ng PWU. Hanggang doon na lang ho. Baka mag-overtime.
Marami na po tayong tatanong kay Sir Ben-Hur later. Oh, go Robert.
Okay. Parang kagaya ni Sir Ben-Hur, yung nanay ko ang nagsimula sa Pape Melroti 50 years ago. Nagsimula din siya, wala. Siya ay isang housewife, nagsusewing siya, tapos binibenta niya yung stuffed toy. Ngayon, 50 years, 20 stores. So, dun nagsisimula sa maliit at sa wala.
Hi, I'm Ian Monsod. Actually, maybe the bigger value is my story before I came to Warner. I was actually a professional musician after college. I took economics for college, but in my heart, I was an artist and I wanted to play music. And I had long hair until the middle of my back, and I was in a rock band for many years now. And I remember when I was doing music, my parents were saying, "Why are you going to music? It doesn't make money." That's why I took economics. But in the side, I would play music, because that's what my heart wanted me to do. And I worked hard at it, and I also eventually had a small studio. I was writing music for TV, commercials, and that became sort of the entrepreneurial aspect. I was making money through my music because I found a way to extract value from what I was doing. And then I forward integrated and had an events group. So events became part of what the businesses I was doing for 10 years. But I also wrote a musical for Repertory Philippines 20 years ago, and it's going to show again in February. Only 2 people so far have written musicals for Repertory, and I'm one of them. One thing, though, is that I don't know how to read notes. So I was not classically trained. I did everything through a computer. I wrote Myong at over 2-hour sung-through musical with a computer. And I wrote all my commercials, whatever, through a computer. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, but I'm the best at doing a computer. So technology, business, and arts. After that, I realized that I was more into the business side, and I didn't know much about business, so I took an MBA, and I worked in the States for a while, honing my skills. And I came back in 2011, and that sort of was my journey coming back here. I was with the PLDT group for a while under Media Quest Holdings, the owners of TV5 and Signal, doing strategy. A business development and strategy. And then now I find myself back in the music industry, leading Warner. And over here, a music label is an entity that discovers and develops talent. And our hope is that we're able to discover and develop Philippine talent and bring them outside. The world is a smaller place, and digital has democratized so many parts of the music industry. So we're hoping that somehow we can get, we're so talented. Filipinos are so talented. We're hoping that we can get musicians here to shine worldwide. Thank you.
Thanks. Now we go to Butch.
Magandang umaga. Butch Bartolome po. I'm a gold digger. I'm a gold digger because I like to look for a diamond in the rough. In other words po, ang trabaho ko po ay naghahanap po ako ng mina ng mga entrepreneurs who I can develop into a gold mine and bring it globally. To date, I started in 1993. It's a gold, the pangalan po ay Golden Morning Blessing. Kaya nga gold digger ako. And we have brought in about 800 clients whom God has sent to me. I'm an AMDG po, kagaya po ni Ben-Hur. I was trained as a Jesuit and I'm an Jesuit entrepreneur. So I've enabled a lot of entrepreneurs. One of them is a young man from Iloilo, whom you know, from 2,000 to 40 billion owner right now. And I'll tell you the story later on. So if you're a guy or a person or girl with a dream or a creative, let's talk. Because I want you to realize the 100 trillion that Joel is talking about. So let's do it together, especially Go Negosyo. I've been part of Go Negosyo since the beginning, so 13 years. So probably I'm the icon and the sidekick. But ako po ay isang servant lang. So again, Filipinas, I always believe, angat natin lahat yan. Maraming salamat po.
Thanks, Butch. Can we now go to MJ of Dragon Pay?
Hi, good morning. Good morning. All right, there you are. Okay, so allow me to at least introduce three things. First, myself, I'm MJ Paniban. I'm as young as 60% of the room here. Aside from Dragon Pay, which is one of the leading alternative payments in the country, I also happen to be the executive director for the Digital Commerce Association of the Philippines. Digital Commerce Association of the Philippines, if you're familiar with the brands like Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, Dragon Pay, Air21, Send, all of these in the digital economy are actually contributing to actually help also develop also more Filipino entrepreneurs in the digital area. In fact, we actually get to work with DTI for 8 years now. We help build Negosyo centers. We conduct Mentor Me programs as well. We also conduct SME roving academies. We try to enable as many MSMEs as possible. In fact, the target is to put up at least 100,000 transacting MSMEs online. And does not only necessarily include just the micro who sells the tangible stuff. That also includes the creative entrepreneurs, because again, there's like Joel was saying, there's a lot of opportunity. Anything, especially now, it's the perfect time to take risks because all of the digital tools are available. The platforms are making their platforms accessible to anybody. And nowadays, it's just API or to API. It's basically integration. Everything is now can be integrated. So it's a perfect time to test the market, and your market is not only limited to the Philippine market. Your market is to the world, whoever has an internet connection nowadays. So perfect time to take risks. That's my point. Thank you.
Thank you, MJ. Now we'll have Ms. Adelaida Lim.
Good morning. I have actually two hats today, but I'd like to say first that I'm a believer in change as being the only thing that's constant in the whole world. Changes are happening all the time, and you have to keep up with this. So from my experience, one of the things I did was to start a restaurant, and you might know about Cafe by the Ruins here in Baguio. And there we're always changing the menu. Every season, we change the food. But now we're also trying to change how we source our materials. So we're trying to go now farm to table, which is a new thing. Okay, and we're trying to meet farmers and get to know them and see if they will supply traditional food or traditional, like for instance, rice and vegetables that we can serve at our restaurant. The other thing that I do is HABI, the Philippine Textile Council, and there we're trying to preserve traditional textiles because I really believe that our traditional textiles are what define us. If you're a Filipino, you should wear something that's made by Filipinos because that's what makes you, it defines you, okay? But we realize that this is a dying tradition. Nobody wants to work with their hands anymore. And we also realize that people are working with, I would say, substandard materials. They don't have natural fibers to work with. So one of our advocacies is to bring back cotton because we realize if you work with cotton, you're a weaver and you produce something that's hand woven, your textile that you produce will bring you higher income. And we have proven this with our Likang Hobby Market Fair, which we hold every year in the Glorieta malls. We started with eight booths, okay? But now we're up to 80 vendors. and our income started from under 100,000, and this year, for 3 days of selling, we grossed 14 million. All of that goes to the weavers. And this also encourages the weavers to continue with their craft. And that's our mission. Thank you.
Thank you. So, as you can see, we have a really distinguished panelist here. Before I start moderating, can I just make a survey? Who are students here? Okay, majority. Who are now... And the students, you come from what concentration? Management. Who comes from the arts? Majority of management students. Okay. Fine arts, design? There's none. Okay. Who are already creative entrepreneurs? Who are already entrepreneurs here? Okay, we have the entrepreneurs. Okay. Okay, let's clap for the entrepreneurs na, ha? Sino yung nagsa-sideline pa lang? Ayan, meron ng magsa-sideline. Okay, great. So, since we have mostly management students here, then we'll go through a process this way. So, we're gonna start from the artist. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna go through the process. We're gonna start from the artist, which is Sir Benhar, and then we're gonna start from the artists who are actually now artist entrepreneurs, which is Robert and of course Christian, right? Then we go to the hardcore entrepreneur who is the enabler for entrepreneurs, Butch. Then we're going to put the technology in it when we go to MJ. Then we go to Miss Lyda, who will talk about how do we organize all of these things, diba? How do we maximize putting them all together? So I'm going to go through that before we go for a free-for-all. Okay? So, Sir Benhar, we have your works here. This water bottle. Gawa nyo raw to. Hindi, loko lang. Ito ang works. Tago natin yung water bottle. Sinasayang niya yung works in front of me. Can you tell us how an artist creates? Diba? What goes on in an artist's mind when they create anything?
Ang iniiwasan ko, mahilig tayong mag-label eh. So nakakurbata siya. Siya inuuna, ako naka-t-shirt lang. Wag ganon. If you're a fine art student, major in painting, wala nang ganon. Major in everything because you're a creative person. Kunin mo rin yung sculpture, kunin mo rin yung printmaking, kung ano-anong technique sa art. Don't limit yourself. Our gathering here is a freedom of expression. Express ninyo yung naramdaman nyo. I'm sure nakuha nyo yun.
Yeah. So, Sir Benhar,
na kita ko, creative. If I may add, if you're creative, huwag kang kwento ng kwento, gawin mo na. Creativity.
Okay, creativity.
Diba? Dagdag na natin yun.
Sir Benhar, talk about this one naman. When you said that, diba, it was in your mind and you acted and it became like this, baka you can make kwento how this artwork came about.
Dito nagsimula yung less is more. Bumili ko ng tanso sa Divisoria. I cut small pieces and put them together. I'm like a bird building a nest. So, yung concept ko, nandito na. Hindi na ako nagdodraw, matanda na ako para bumalik pa sa ganun eh. So, just do it spontaneously. And then, I have a turntable. Habang ginagawa, iniikot ko. Because I know the principle of sculpture. Kaya yung iba, kung kat maaari, huwag naman mag-pretend na sculptor. Marunong ka mag-weld, sabi mo sculptor ka na. Magbasa ka naman. Mag-aral ka. Alamin mo yung principle of sculpture. Para hindi nanilin lang yung mga collectors. See, like this one. I was a member of International Theater Institute. Kasama ko si Rolando Tino sa theater. Ako naman, nag-name drop na. Ako naman sa visual arts. Chairman namin si Dr. Alejandro Roses. Ako nagre-represent na visual arts. Kaya bali, ang ginagawa ko, napanood ko na yung mga ballet performances. Kaya si Lisa Makuha, in-invite din niya ako to display my works. Ngayon...
Si Lisa ba ho to? Itong isa na to, hindi.
Yung misis ko yan.
So kahit ballet dancer, kasi Sir Benhar, laging misis niya yung sumasayaw.
Kailangan marunong ka rin sumagot. No, our body is already a sculpture. Lagyan mo lang ng movement, balance, and so on. Depende kung ano ng technique ang gagawin mo. Diskarte mo yan. Yun ang importante. Mamaya, yung mga hindi pa nakakatanggap nung highest award, bibigyan ko kayo o kukwento ko sa inyo yung highest award. Siguro, papasa ko na sa iba. Marami kami.
Babalikan ko. But one question lang. You know, so, si Sir Benhar, di ba? We know she's an artist. Pero, hindi lang siya basta artist. Sinabi mo, diskarte ho, di ba? Can you, ikwento nyo naman ho, there was a contest to make the Bonifacio sculpture for BGC. You know, BGC, di ba? That's para bang what we call the new business center of the Philippines. Si Sir Benhar ho yung napili. Baka pwede nyo lang ikwento kung bakit kayo yung napili. Kasi hindi lamang pagalingan yan, meron ho kayong discarding na kwento sa amin kagabi.
I received an invitation from Bonifacio Art Foundation. Congratulations, you're one of the famous daw, sculptors sa Philippines. 21 kami. Nakita ko yung pangalan, mga famous nga sila. Pati yung national artist, famous. Pero naging teacher ko yun. Ngayon, nagagawa daw ng monumento ni Andres Bonifacio. Oh my God, kako. 21 kami. Sabi ko, ano kaya ang gagawin ng kalaban ko? I am sure Andres Bonifacio hatapang tao. Sigurado mga mamamatay tao yan. May hawak na itak. So we were asked to submit a maquette. Maquette is a model. Maliit lang po. Tapos i-judge nila kami. Unsigned. Nung isubmit namin lahat yung maquette, yung 20 entries na may hawak na itak, nagpatayan. Namatay lahat. Ako lang ang buhay. Bakit buhay? Crumpled cedula ang hawak ko. So we were asked to submit a written explanation about our composition. Sabi ko, hindi namang bobo si Andres Bonifacio, patay ng patay. Galing siya mag-Kastila, magsulat, everything. Tapos, mamamatay tao. Mautak yan. So, hindi na kailangan gamitin violent pamamaraan para maging leader. So, ang iniisip ko, kung ang kasundaluhan pala natin, yung generals nila, yung commanding officer, kung inisip kung anong weapons ang gagamitin ng kalaban, prepared sila. Kaya ako, hindi itak ang ginamit ko. Iniisip ko muna kung ano ang gagawin nung kalaban ko. Kaya kayo, lalo na mga mag-aaral, Kung contest man, isipin nyo, yung makakalaban nyo. Tama? Hindi ko nadinig. Tama? O, hindi
Natakot
ba?
sila sa itak nyo.
Oo, ngayon, unanimous daw sila. Wala akong kasalanan. Hindi ba? Tapos, nilapitan ng mami yung national artist. Prof, sabi niya, hindi ka na national artist. Bakit? Si Bernard nanalo, di ba, estudyante ko naman yan, sabi niya. O, di ba? Di proud pa siya. Ngayon, isa sa judges, si Ambet Ocampo, historian. Hindi niya alam kasali ko. Teacher ko yan, sabi niya, di ba? Ewan ko kung ano tinuro ko ron. Puro kwento ginagawa nun. Ngayon, huwag ka nang umasa sa iba. Ito advice ko. Magtiwala ka sa sarili mo. Hindi yung tanong ka ng tanong. Tanungin mo muna yung sarili mo kung saan ako magsisimula. Diyan ang less is more. You'll be more creative. Huwag mo nang ikwento, gawin mo na lang.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wise word. So kita nyo, di ba? It's not just being creative, kailangan may discard. Now, we're gonna ask Robert. Robert is an artist managing what I call the business empire of paper. I'll say that kasi, alam mo, hindi kayo magkakaroon ng kasintahan nung panahon namin kung hindi kayo bumibili ng mga love letter sa papel roti, di ba? Kung gusto ma-impress yung ano mo, yung nililigaw mo, sa papel roti ka bibili, hindi sa National Bookstore, di ba? So maybe you can talk a bit about how an artist-led company like you continues to survive. 50 years na po sila, 50 years, imagine, but it is artist-led. So maybe you can tell a story about how artists are managing an enterprise. Your own style, di ba?
So you're right. We turned 50 years last year, which is, in my opinion, a very, very large accomplishment because, yes, we're all artists, not so business savvy. So we have to do it day by day, very carefully, with hard work and with faith, because having 20 stores is no joke. Just paying the rent, like a rent of one store is almost like 200,000 a month. So can you imagine our notepads sell for 50 pesos? Can you imagine how much we need to sell to be able to pay just rent? And there's so much more expenses for that. But still, it's something we love to do. We're authentic. We know that ito yung mahal namin gawin. I love to draw. We love to design. But at the same time, we have to be very smart about money. Hindi pwedeng masyadong magastos. We have to know the business side as well.
But more than that, you see, they are 90% local made.
Yes. Ito yung pinag-isipan talaga namin as a company, Pape Melroti. If you look at the shop, 90% or more is done in the Philippines. And I think that's a big accomplishment also kasi kapag makita mo yung market ngayon, 90% or more is from China.
So how do you compete, given that the rest are all imported and you've been able to thrive in 50 years? What is the secret for you being able to compete against all the imported products?
Well, sa tingin ko, like, yung mga produkto namin, hindi mo mahanap sa iba. You can't buy it in Divisoria. My drawings, you can't find it anywhere. You have to go to Pape Melroti. And I'm very blessed, we're very blessed that our customers know that it's Philippine-made, they know it's environment-friendly, and that's why they patronize also our products.
Do you compete on price?
Yes, also, you don't have a choice.
So what Robert's sharing is that, there's value in design, right? So it's not about, even though China and all the rest might come out cheaper, it is actually the design component that keeps you competitive. So there is value in design because there's a time everybody had to go to mass products. But Papel Roche shows that as long as you can be unique in what you do, you can continue to thrive. Thanks, Robert. So let's go now on to the other artist turned business person, right? So maybe you can share a bit of your journey and Christian, and also share how your being a creative has actually helped in you managing, a business enterprise now, right? Because you're more on the business side. How have you been able to use your creativity and being an artist into applying it in the business world?
Okay. Well, I mentioned a bit of my journey already a while ago. No? So I started as an artist, and it led me to business, and then back somehow to the arts. So how does sort of the artist in me help in business? Well, there are a lot of similarities, I guess, in producing creatively and having someone enjoy your creation, and also in business. I guess most of you are management students, so it starts with the customer. A good view of the customer. What do they like? What do they value? And then what can you uniquely give to the customer that they will pay for? So that sort of became, that's sort of something always in the back of my mind. No? When I was doing commercials, it's at that time it's 30-second commercials. You have to know, okay, who's the product for? Is it for a 40-plus female who wants to do something for her children? Then you're writing music for a 40-plus female. What do they like? So it wouldn't be my rock music, because the rock music would not appeal to the 40-plus female. So there's always that component of knowing who your customer is and providing something unique. Right? I think one of the things that helped me was that I was also a theater performer. So I knew expression. And a lot of things that help in the success of music is connecting with your listener. So a song will not be successful unless an audience connects to it. And how do you connect? There are many ways. A hit is made when a reaction, when the audience reacts, when it makes them feel sentimental or happy or associates with a good memory. So that connection is important. And producing something that connects to the listener is the same thing as a business producing something unique that the customer will value. I think that's sort of the thing that drives me. Right now in business, it's pretty much the same thing. It's knowing the relevant market right now. Right now, for example, in music, most of the money is made with the young, the ones who stream, 18 to 24. The ones who use Spotify, the ones who, stuff like that. So a lot of the music that we manage is for that segment. Because we have, we're a business. We have to create the value. We have to create profit. And we know that they're the ones who are using it, and they're the ones who will consume. And that's where the money is made. So I think that's sort of how it helps.
So Christian, about, there's a lot of bands who, because they have to choose the bands that they want to manage, right? Or to promote. How, when you look at a band or any musical or any music artist, what does Warner look for? And they say when they see this person or this band, they can be a success or a hit. What do you guys look for?
There are these informal tests like my hair standing when I listen to the demo. That's the informal test, no? We can also test it. Actually,
hair standing because it's good or
yeah,
bad?
it's good. Well, there's also the other one. But that helps with the decision. No. Because it connects with me. But I'm not the actual audience. So we have to test it. What's nice about now is that you can put it out there already and then see the numbers. You put it on Spotify, then you see, it's being consumed this much, 3,000 times a day. Oh, it's growing. Okay, we're going to stick with this. So it almost, in a way, it becomes a portfolio business. You put a lot out there and then look at the data. So, but personally, there's a lot of subjectivity when you choose an artist. You have to know their potential. Like, You have to know that, oh, this person will be able to connect because of the way they express themselves, the way they write their songs, the way they perform. You know that they'll connect. And that's actually takes years of experience to know sort of the potential. But we have data also to rely on.
So actually this, talking about artists or anybody who wants to put out their product, you really have to connect. I think it's a key word because I guess, Robert, you don't just create designs, you want to make sure that it connects to the audience, right? And so partly, I guess for any artist, because you get Warner looking at you, they will have to see how you connect with the audience. And that's part of the business side of being an artist. You don't just make it for yourself. You have to make sure you also connect with a certain audience. Yes, sir.
Hindi ko matis, pasensya na kayo. Sa akin ho, have to please myself first. If I cannot please myself, paano ko kayo mapiplease? Mahirap yung pilit. Mariremedyohan yun if you please yourself first. Then you're happy. Hindi yung inuutusan ka lang. Thank you.
I think the love of your own work, you have to love your work before you can ask, how can you sell it to somebody else, ask somebody to love it if you don't love also your work, di ba, Sir Ben-Hur? So you have to really please yourself. Tsaka siyempre, it helps when you have a loving wife, as you said. 56 years, right? 56 years. So let's go to Butch. Butch, if somebody has an idea, if you're an artist or anybody who's creative, kasi parang they don't know how to start kasi I'm an artist, di ba? How does a person who have any idea, whether it's creative or no, how do they get started into making it into a business?
For me, I look at the mindset of the person. What's his mindset? Is it organized? Or is it something that's cluttered? Or does he really want, is there an aim? Kasi sa akin, ang negosyo kasi, once you start it, the founder's mentality is so critical. Yan yung magsiset ng direction eh. Kaya nga sa akin, yung mga entrepreneurs, young and old, I always look at, what's the mindset of this person? The person, does he aim to help others? Does he aim just to enrich himself? Does he have a product that he loves himself doing it? Yung bang sa akin, it's not money that I'm thinking of eh. I think the most critical part is, are you willing to change? Are you willing to make a change in the society? Make the world better by creating your product? So that's the mindset. Sa akin, kaya when I talk to people, young and old, I always say, there is always a way to change. No? Kaya nga yung, for example, when I talk to people in the provinces, I always say, your mindset should not be a provinciano. Your mindset should be something entrepreneurial. Action speaks louder. No? And are you willing to risk? There are people kasi who has that mindset but wants to be comfortable in their own world. No? There's always a risk. Entrepreneur is always a roller coaster ride.
Maybe you can share, you talked about provinciano mentality, di ba? You helped an entrepreneur from Iloilo who moved from that provinciano mentality to become a national brand. Maybe you can share the story of how you helped that person.
Actually, he found me by accident. He discovered me. And I was giving a talk like this, and he was 19 years old at that time. And he spoke to me after the talk, and he said, Kuya Butch, pwede yung ba akong tulungan? Sabi ko, yeah, sure. Why not? Usap tayo. Medyo broken, ano pa siya, Tagalog. So he said, pwede yung ba akong tulungan sa restaurant ko? And at that time, I was looking at him. He was wearing t-shirt, shorts, and rubber shoes, no? Yung t-shirt niya, butas pa yung kilikili, no? So yung parang gano'n. And when he mentioned that his restaurant, my double face came out and said, am I talking to the right person with the right mind or the left mind? Ito ba, tamang pag-iisip? No? So sabi ko, inulit ko ulit. Oh, your family's restaurant. Hindi, aking restaurant. So he reiterated. And so I said, oh, sige, puntahan natin yung restaurant mo. Wow, lo and behold, I saw a 600 seating capacity, full pack, the middle of around 8:30 in the evening. And I said, wow, ang yaman ng pamilya mo. I just wanted to verify whether he was telling me the truth or not. No? He said, no, this is why my restaurant, sir. Just to tell you, I started from scratch at 2,000 pesos and I borrowed 2 million. And from there on, that's it. My dream was realized. But, you know, this young man, iba yung hindi yung he's not reaching himself eh. He had a heart. He has a puso. May corporate puso siya, which I call corporate social responsibility. This is an artist for people with a heart. You know that this guy, though he was not that rich yet, he employed people who only finished grade 4. Grade 4, mind you. Mahirap po mag-train ng grade 4. Na-attain lang. Kasi like nagluluto kami ng bigas, ng kanin, sasabihin sa akin, rice cooker, bakit to sa baryo, nagsisibak ho kami ng kahoy para magsaing. But you know, I asked him, why did you employ? Sabi niya, Butch, I did not finish college eh. Poverty was my #1 enemy. But the only way I can reach out is to help those who are also in the same boat. But again, this young man, from 0 store, went up to 300 stores. And from there, the Big J asked him, how much are you? And he was bought for 5 billion pesos in cash. And again, why cash? Because hindi niya ho alam kung ano yung stocks. Ang sabi ho ng Jollibee, we will buy you 70% in stocks. Eh sabi niya, sa tatay niya raw, tinuro sa kanya sa sari-sari store, wala ho kaming warehouse na ganyang paglalagyan ng bodega. When in fact, Jollibee was referring, see, the young man, you know, sabi niya, wala ho kaming bodegang paglalagyan niyang Jollibee. Pwede ho ba COD, cash is king? Okay, so, the young man right now is 34 years old, but he has helped 3 groups. One, the handicapped, the PWD. Ang gumawa ho ng mga mesa niya ay mga taong walang paa. Kaya nga ho, magpasensya kayo nung araw kung gegewang-gewang yung mga mesa, lagyan niya lang ng karton. Okay? Pangalawa ho, ang gumawa ho ng mga lamps ay mga teenagers ho na mga nalulung sa droga na he wanted to help how to change back their normal life. The third is the one making the bamboo stick, which I myself saw when he empowered a group of barrio, wherein bamboo was a nuisance for them. And yet their pastime is making babies. 14 years old women are all having breastfeeding. Men always in, ano ba yan? Nagsusugal. And barangay captain was always having a problem because of domestic violence in the evening. When he empowered that barrio in Iloilo, there was no birth at all. And he was being asked to run as mayor because the captain could sleep already in the evening. Why? Because the men are tired cutting bamboo. The women are tired finishing the bamboo. And so, see you in my dreams. So, yan nangyari. So, basically, the lesson here is this. When you start a business, mindset muna. Soak yourself in the mindset. Sabi nga ni Kabenhar, believe in yourself that you can do it. He had a lot of odds, mind you. People disridiculed him. He did not finish college. He's a provinciano. But when he came to Manila, everybody started saluting him. But again, until this date, this young man in Japsia has no yabang. And that's one thing I admire. When you have a good mindset in business, an entrepreneur, an artist, be humble as where you started from. And he has helped a lot of people.
Thanks, Butch. So he talked about the story of, as you well know, one of the youngest billionaires in the Philippines, in Japsia of Manginasal. So we're hoping we've made a lot of billionaires in the food industry, starting from, of course, the biggest billionaire in the food industry is the Jollibee family. But and then there's Injap from Iloilo, the youngest billionaire from the food industry. But we're hoping to start having a billionaire from the creative industry, di ba? So that's why we're here. So, and one of the enablers nga of scaling up is technology. Now, you cannot just continue where we are when the whole world has moved to what we call the fourth industrial revolution. That is the digital economy. So to talk more about those opportunities is MJ, who's the GM of DragonPay. What are our potentials if we are just able to embrace the digital economy?
Okay, in terms of potential or opportunity, the opportunity is already there. It's in fact, when we conducted a survey back in, I think, 2014, we were trying to measure the consumption, online consumption of Filipinos. And in fact, we found out that, and also the behavior, why. So first things that we saw, Filipinos are not afraid to shop online. If given the opportunity, they will. However, the ones that actually stand out the most was selection and availability. Meaning to say, Filipinos are willing to buy something. They just being lacked of the things that they can buy online. So if they want to buy clothes, if they want to buy artwork, they want to buy painting, they want to buy shoes, there are very limited options. That's why people would still opt to go to SM, Robinson, because there are limited choices online. So one opportunity there is, again, you have that huge platform to abuse. Sorry for the word. But again, people are willing to consume, especially nowadays. Come 2018, we gathered another data. Filipinos, 74% of Filipinos now are more opportunistic towards technology. 64% of Filipinos believe that if the task can be completed online, they would rather do it online. So the behavior now has shifted. And in fact, also, for the entrepreneurs here, please take to consideration that half of your market today are millennials, between the ages of 18 to 30 years old. The average age of a Filipino today is 24 years old. So, meaning to say, your business, regardless how tacky they may be, it had to attract also the millennial. Does it catch my attention? That's where the creativity would come in. Because at the end of the day, when you start talking about technology, you don't see e-commerce as technology itself. It is a business that being enabled by technology. Technology is just a tool. So you don't have to be afraid of technology because there are many of them and they're easy to use. What you have to be more wary about is, does the product that you have has a value proposition to begin with? Do you have a market in the first place? Does it make sense business-wise? And this is one of the things we actually, I'm representing the digital economy, but when we work with DTI, DOST, and DA, and even DOT for that matter, we start our workshops with business model canvas and value proposition. That's how we always focus, because sometimes you get carried with the technology. There are the likes of Google, Facebook, Lazada, Shopee, all of even DragonPay. We can even allow to accept payments, sell online. We can have logistics deliver that for you at the discounted rates. But at the end of the day, do you have a market to begin with? And again, business also has to see it from a value proposition side. Are you addressing your customer pains? Are you bringing gains to your customers? So I guess that should be the more focus. You should only see technology as an enabler. So because many are really afraid of technology, but hindi, kasi mahal yan, kasi mahirap yan intindihan. For example, imagine how am I going to convince the likes of Sir Ben-Hur? So, for example, I cannot teach him technology, but I can have him. I can provide myself and somebody else bring the technology. And again, Ben-Hur will be always Ben-Hur artwork. But again, technology. There are a lot of people who are willing to lend a hand to make that happen. So, at the end of the day, it's about the business mindset. It's about the value proposition.
So, imagine MJ was saying, there's technology. The only thing lacking in proliferating our technology marketplace is the selection. Can you imagine an SM na kalahati ng mall walang laman? Diba? So imagine an SM na kalahati ng mall walang laman. What MJ is saying, meron na nakatayo na SM, it's a digital SM. Kailangan na lang niya ng mga produkto sa loob ng SM. But the market is there. Right?
That is true.
The market is there. So especially now, majority of your Gen Z and millennials, the opportunity is there, and then you have the digital enablers like DragonPay willing to provide you the space. Di ba ngayon nakapila kayo para makapasok sa SM? Pero ngayon, available pa yung slot sa digital SM.
That is true.
Hindi na kayo kailangan pumila. Tatanggapin lang kayo kagad. The thing is just, make sure you have a product that matches the marketplace and that you can bring it online.
Yep. Actually, if for inspiration, if I may add, there is a local who's about your age, about no more than 30 years old, who actually makes about 3 million, 4 million pesos in a monthly basis of selling local products online on their own website that they produce that only advertises on Facebook. So how bad 3 million per month can be?
Baba naman. Hindi ba pwedeng lakihan yun, no? What's the product?
It's locally sourced product, and I don't mean to disregard. They only source the product from the likes of Divisoria, Baclaran, those kind of things.
So it's like an online sourcing.
Yes.
So ito pa nga, hindi pa nga masyado creative. Creative sourcing lang siya kasi Divisoria. What more if it's a creative product? Now, the thing is to get organized because if we don't organize ourselves, you know, I just came from the UK and I told you I brought in 15 creative hub managers. Creative hub manager basically is a group, is somebody who's managing a group of creatives. And that's how the UK industry grew. Just to give you a background, in the UK, their fastest growing industry is the creative industry. 1 out of 6 people in the UK are creatives. Imagine, 1 out of 6 are creatives. It's not 1 out of 10 is a OFW, which is the Philippines, diba? 1 out of 10 in the Philippines is OFW. In the UK, 1 out of 6 is a creative. A creative makes more money than an OFW. And we are known to be one of the most creative people. How come we're not like that? And the thing is, one of them is we just need to organize ourselves, because the UK model is organize yourselves among creatives and then do projects together. And somebody who has been at the forefront, somebody's been the forefront of organizing creatives has actually been Miss Lyda. Maybe you can share a bit of how you've been organizing the creatives in Baguio and many other parts of the country, and how we together as creatives can actually band together to make the economy much stronger.
Okay, I'll start with a quotation that I love, and it goes, cooperation or collaboration is a higher form of creativity than competition. So that brings out that it takes working together in order to produce something that's bigger than everybody else. And here in Baguio, since we were received that designation of Creative City, we have to work to earn that designation. We're not yet really there. And one way of doing it is to put our heads together, and I'm urging you now to come forth with your ideas so that we can place Baguio at the global stage. And that's really the whole purpose of these creative cities. We have a lot of talent here. We have a lot of skill. And the important thing is those ideas. You know, we should not actually not be ashamed or we should have the courage to bring forth those ideas. Usually we say, oh, you thought of something, and then you don't realize the value of that idea that you have. But if you talk to other people and you see that they agree with you, that's one way of getting validation that your idea is a good one and it's going to work.
Can you give an example of one of the creative hubs, one of the industry groups that you're putting together?
Well, we put together the Baguio Arts and Crafts Collective because we felt that we needed to have a group that could, first of all, deal with the local government, which is the mover of this creative city thing. And so we invited different creative groups. There are the sculptors, there are the painters, the weavers, people who work in silver. They all have their separate organizations, but under the Baguio Arts and Crafts Collective, it's all one thing. We still have to work on creating our legal entity, but we're getting there. And that, I think, will take us to the next steps.
And so the different artists collaborate on various projects together.
Yes, so we have Dominican Hill right now, where we put up some exhibits and also some what they call installations. Okay, and then we also have the Bell House in Camp John Hay, where there is a gallery of photography. And just looking at that collection of photographs, the idea came about that maybe Baguio City should have a photography museum, because there's a lot of photography that's been done since Baguio was founded at the turn of the century, last century, up to the present time. And we have a lot of good photographers who reside here.
Okay, so thank you to our panelists. We're gonna go. Butch, you want to say something before I open the floor? I'm gonna open the floor, but I think Butch wanted to say something.
I just want to say, like in business, no, the creativity. The thought of having an only rice was something that you created a lot of room. It created hate and mostly favored. No, see the idea of this young man. He went out of the box. See, he was never afraid to try. Why? Because he wanted value. Kaya lang nagkaroon kami ng extreme, no? Pumapalo pala pag gano'n, no? An extreme. We had 2 cases of reported, which we did not share in the media, but now it's okay. Of somebody in Davao coming up with 9 cups of rice, no? And that cup of rice was like that, Joel. And it was a female, 21 years old. So sabi ko, wow, female, 21, unlimited rice, 9 cups of rice. And then the other one was before he was bought by Jollibee. Again, another female who had 16 cups of rice. My God, I mean, the creativity went extreme, only ordering pecho. But fortunately, thank God, when she stood up, she collapsed, na empacho, no? And she survived. But again, the goodness of the heart of Injap, he paid out of his own pocket for the medical expense. But you know, sabi ko, why did you pay? Butch, ganito yan eh, creativity again. That lady will come back and bringing new customers. And true enough, her code name now in Marquee is Miss Patsy. And she has been coming back only with 1.5 cup of rice. Okay, so you guys, I know you're all victims of this. I'm sure all these women here, don't be guilty even if you have 5 cups of rice, but now it's smaller, no? That's it. That's how it is.
So before I open the floor, let's use creativity in the way like creative ideas and monetizing it. Wag naman yung creative gluttony and how to eat 21 cups of rice. So I'm going to open the floor so that I'm sure you have a lot of questions. So who would like to start? Yes, sir. What's your name, please?
Hendrik Sanchez po. I'm from Fridge Multimedia. We do mostly video. We have sounds and lights and we have event styling.
Yes, sir.
Siguro ang pinaka-question ko is how does a creative transition from being the artist into a manager? Kasi since, like for me, I manage a lot of people but I came from the creative side. So siguro yun yung struggle. Yung paano ka magta-transition from being an artist, being alone by yourself, creating your work, and then managing people.
I'll give that to Robert and to either Robert or Christian. Who wants to take a...
Well, that resonates personally to me because I was an artist first, no? 10 years before I took an MBA and went corporate. Actually, I found myself as an artist, you know, to succeed, man, one of the things you have to really just work hard, right? And always learn from what you're doing. And those 10 years, you know, I prided myself. I could do so many all-nighters. I wasn't sleeping because I really wanted to succeed. But you know, in the end, I was able to have moderate success and build a studio, a recording studio, and an events company. But I still felt I did not know enough about business. So I took an MBA. I may be an extreme, but there are ways that you can learn these things. There are programs like like what
ipa-plug ko na. Meron kaming scholarship dun sa mga creative na nahihirapan mag-business. May scholarship po kami available. So lapitan niyo ako pagkatapos.
But seriously, I think back then, I would have, if this was available to me, I would have done that because I realized how much I did not know about business. And when I deal with advertising agencies or other clients, I was at a disadvantage, you know. So it was all grit without any knowledge. So I wanted to really improve myself, improve my knowledge in the business side. So I sought out different ways. I sought it a very traditional way by going through an MBA, but there are other ways now that are accessible, and everything's online naman, diba? So, when I transitioned, there was not much online content for me.
Robert, are you gonna add?
Okay, just konti lang. I actually have my own business also. I have design services. I have my own clients. So artist, pero I have to manage also kasi the work is also malaki. So for me, what I'd say is, you have to have a positive mindset. Even though it may be uncomfortable yung transition, just think na this is a evolution of your art. Make it a positive mindset na parang, okay, these are managing people, these are parang tools also to get your artistry, your expression out there. Me, when I service my clients, I have to deal with a lot of people, but I enjoy it. I see it as part of my art. Managing people, making people work well together. So a lot of it is mindset.
Thank you, Robert. Chancellor, you have a question? Yeah.
It's a question based on what I hear from among the artists, artists in Baguio. Some of them, many of them in fact, are still reticent or not, are still worried about getting into the market or into commercialization because for one, some of them create for its intrinsic value, not for value creation, for other purposes, right? Second, they are afraid about exploitation. Can you address that fear among artists? How do you feel, when does an artist feel that he or she is exploited? Second, how do we avoid exploitation?
Anybody wanna, Sir Ben-Hur.
I did several books for Ateneo. Bilin ng ating magulang from prep to grade 7. Illustrator po ako. Yung mga consultants may royalty. Nagreklamo ko, ba't wala ako royalty? Bayad ka na, Ben, part yan ng trabaho mo as our teacher. Kumonsulta ako sa abogado. Hindi bayad si Ben. So I went to the Copyright Center sa Calao, Rizal ba yung ganon? Ikaw, National Library, ikaw ang kauna-unahang artist na nagtanong sa iyong karapatan. Kaya tuwing mamimit ko yung mga artist, yung copyright, ganon-ganon, sinishare ko sa kanila. Kasi, ganito marami nangyayari. May 5 authors, yung cover ko sa libro, pinrint nila yung pangalan nila. Wag ka ko. Nakakahiyayang ginawa nyo sa akin. Ganon. So, yung ginawa ko, the builders, public art, yung maket po, pinaka-copyright ko, pinapatent ko, good for 50 years. Ganon. So, kailangan malaman to, yung copyright, yung patent. Ayun po.
Go ahead, Butch. Thank you.
Tama yan, no? Yung na-mention yan, no? It's a work of art, it's a mental work, it's an artist perspective. You have to protect it, Like, for example, yung copyright, that's only one, no? That's only one. Nowadays, you have domain, yung website, no? You have the Facebook page. When you post a picture, you have to have a watermark. There's so many pirata, which is not fair to the person who created that, no? So very important, that's a value. And then another thing is that you have to know exactly your work of art. You have to archive it. You have to know. For example, si Ben has thousands probably of done, but again, he knows exactly what he has done. So any copyright, any copyright infringement, remember what you copyrighted here is not available in the US. So you also have to trademark because the IPO now, which is very, very good right now, very well efficient, we are part of the Madrid Protocol, wherein we are in the 86th country wherein we are registered. We can register that. So what I want you to do is, if you're an artist, know how to protect yourself and know what your value is. And know what kind of profit you are going to make. Not just taking advantage of. Yun ang importante.
Anybody want to add? I have actually. No. Okay, yeah.
Well, I think in the music industry, actually, the music industry has the most complicated batch of rights, no? For the songwriter, for the one who produced the sound recording, for the artist, performers, ang dami. But, I mean, there's that legendary story of Freddie Aguilar, who wrote Anak and became an international success. And the story is, he didn't see much of that profit because someone owned that work. He sold that work. So someone else profited from his work. We try to avoid that by educating musicians on their rights. A lot of musicians come to us not knowing these things, and it's actually really complicated. But I think it's worth the research to know exactly what rights you have that you have to protect.
So, Chancellor, just to, in a way, the first thing, so that if you're an artist or anybody who has an idea, whatever that business idea is, whether creative, the best way to fight the fear of exploitation is to learn how to not be exploited, because the government has provided all the tools na naman. But maybe the government needs to do a bit more work of creating awareness with the people. DTI, that the tools are there to protect your ideas. Because people don't know it's available. It is available. Like that Madrid Protocol. How many of you know that is a Madrid Protocol? You know, it's there. It's been there for tagal na, di ba, Boots? Ang tagal na yun eh. So, very few people, when they think of Madrid, they only think about food and everything. But there's a lot. Yes, go ahead, Robert. Yeah.
Okay. Naintindihan ko po yun na hesitant, yung mga artists, ganyan. One thing kami as a group, may grupo po kami ng children's book illustrators. We're hundreds of Filipino children's book illustrators. We're going to be 30 years old already. I'm thinking an organization like the Baguio Arts and Crafts Collective. I think if you organize yourself, pwede kayong magtulungan kasi yun yung ginagawa namin sa org namin. Even sa online, magtatanong kami, nakatrabaho mo ba to? Mahusay ba silang katrabaho? So nagtutulungan. So I think that can help.
So that's why the UK model is creative hubs. And that's why, because in the creative hub, you share resources. So they have a lawyer to protect the whole group. Diba? To ask. Collaboration, as Lyda said, collaboration is key. So there's collaboration not just for the work, but also to protect each other. Yes, Sir Benner.
Lawyer, nadinig ko. May lawyer tumawag sa akin. Mr. Villanueva, can I ask you a favor? May ipapa-authenticate ako sa inyo, artwork po ninyo. Can I see the artwork ako? Pumunta pa ako na Maynila to see the artwork. This is not my artwork ako. Kasi karamihan ngayon ng mga collectors, mga bumibili ng artworks, they ask for a certificate of authenticity. Importante ho yun, hingin ninyo. Sabi ko, hindi ko trabaho to. Unang-una, yung subject matter, ibang-iba. No? Tapos yung signature, iba. So, hindi ko pinirmahan. Gusto kong tulungan yung gustong kumita, pero nandaya eh. Ayoko. Ayun lang ako sa share ko sa inyo.
So yeah, there's many ways to protect each other, but that, I guess, as I'd say, banding together is really the most important thing. And I think Baguio, you've banded together as a creative city. Baka you can now make subgroups, like Lyda said, creative hubs. And I guess us on the Creative Innovators Program, we're more than willing to help Baguio do that. As I said, it is a UK program, and our main task is to really share the UK experience to a developing country like the Philippines. Were you going to add anything?
Yeah, I guess I get also where Chansey is really coming from, because especially now that you're utilizing online tools, you also have to be worry about these kind of things, because you have to also treat it as a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, sure, on the other side, it provides you market accessibility, but also it poses a threat, because anybody now can see your work, and anybody could claim that it was your work. So this is where another again, business creativity would come in. So that's why there are some creative platforms, for example, in a membership format, so that, for example, those who only subscribe to the platform are the ones who can actually see and buy the products from the subscription model. So again, this is where you also have to be creative business-wise, not only creative in producing your work, but also in your entrepreneurial creativity. How do you also protect yourself? And again, there are organizations like Joel's that actually can help you, and even government organizations like IPO. They conduct through DTI IPO trademark awareness on how you can actually also protect yourself.
Thank you. Anybody from the student side? Kayo ang pag-asa.
Anybody working on a thesis, right?
Anybody? Anybody has an idea who wants to put it on the floor and then say, what do we think of it? You have all of these experts right in front. Does anybody have a idea that they want to say, may pag-asa ba tong idea nila? Is there one? Who? Oh, on the top? Where I can't see. Meron pala dyan. Okay. Sigaw mo na lang, sigaw. What's that? We can hear you, yeah. Go ahead.
Since po yung business natin, nag-focus po tayo sa cultural heritage ng country natin, na yung arts po and ganyan, parang paano po kaya natin may uugnay yung technology sa mga cultural na bagay na meron tayo, since alam naman natin yung Philippines hindi masyadong magaling sa sa technology, pero parang ano po kaya yung masasuggest nyo po? Para mas ma-enrich po yung cultural heritage natin using this technology in businesses po.
Okay, try to understand the question. The question is, how can we use technology to enhance our cultural arts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody?
Ako na naman. We have 7 arts: painting, sculpture, architecture, theater, dance, music, photography, and so on. Wag nating gawing complicated yung nalalaman natin. Kung yung magaang sa ating kalooban, doon tayo mag-focus. Kung saan ang forte natin, doon tayo mag-focus. No? Oh my God, nagba-blackout ako. Mamaya na.
Pero tama naman yung point. Focus on where we're good at, diba? Let's not try to reinvent. Okay, now, if we focus on where we're good at, how can we deploy technology there? As I told you, music plus technology in business actually becomes Spotify. And we're good at music, right? But have we been able to enhance that with technology? But anyway, before we go into that, is there...
Sure. I guess, ang maganda kasi ngayon, nowadays, it's an era of collaboration. And it's really good to see that there are creative hubs like Joel has. There's also Baguio Creative Group. So actually this way, collaboration is now easy because there are venues that can make that happen. Because I guess siguro even in the ages nina Robert and nina Sir Ben-Hur, and we were actually talking in the van na parang dati I'm comfortable doing it myself, but now in the era of collaboration, now you actually get to learn more. You get to interact with other people, share their own experiences, and at least whatever you know, probably the other person wouldn't know. So you are helping one another, and that way you grow together. And when you grow together, you flourish. And when you flourish, you don't even have to publicize it. It will just come out naturally.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Just last thing, I think this is now where you go for the mentorship. There are a lot of mentors right now, and really, you're so lucky, this generation is so lucky because you have these mentors who are available and mentors that are willing to help you move forward, overcome the word fear. No? So I think that is very important. You have the content, and that's where the hub comes in. That's where the hub Joel is talking about. That's where we want to move in. Because after all, the bottom line, what is the legacy that we would like to leave? I mean, I'm sure all of us want to leave a legacy na something good, na hindi yung legacy, hay salamat na wala na rin sa buhay namin to. Hindi eh. Something that we want you to continue. And really, Baguio as a creative hub, that's a big challenge, no? And I think you guys need to collaborate, no? Not just for himself, but as a group. And that's it.
Lida, is there anything on the technology side that the hub, the Baguio Creative Hub is doing?
Well, as you've said, the tools are there, and so use it. Like for instance, a concrete example in my restaurant, to take orders, we now use a POS system. Before, you could write it down and in a piece of scratch paper what your customer ordered, and then you take it to the kitchen and order that. But nowadays, you can encode that in a little machine, and then the message goes to your cashier, and it goes also to the kitchen, and that also controls your stocks, and then you know what your income is going to be. When I started this business, I didn't know what a spreadsheet looked like, or even what a balance sheet looked like, okay? But I had to bring myself to learn these things, because all I wanted to do was cook. I wanted to, serve this food that I like to people who I thought would like this kind of food. But then I realized it's not going to work. I have to, and I was told by a brother of mine, he said, how dare you operate a business without a computer when there's computers, So that's it. If the tools are there, use it, because that's what it's there for.
Okay.
Yung anak ko, sculptor, may ginawa siyang artwork, Christ. Ang title niya, The Messenger. Wow, ang ganda. So nakikita ko itong mga kasama ko, we're messengers. Sooner or later, eventually, magiging messengers kayo. Hindi lalago yan kung di nyo pangangatawanan yung pamamahagi nung nalalaman nyo sa iba. Mabubulok yan. Tandaan ninyo. Nagkuhan pa.
Thank you. Okay, we have
Sir, we
maximum
have
2.
Follow-up question here.
Where are you? I can't see you. Follow-up question there sa taas. Sige, bigyan na natin sila opportunity kasi para kayong nasa heaven, tinitignan nyo kami. Oh. Kamusta kayo dyan? No?
Sir,
yeah, that's right.
we do not limit the value of collaboration here in the creative industry. But knowing that as of today, there is this, parang mas naging valuable na yung connection. And yung mga nadidiscover talagang artist are those na yung nasa higher position or in the yung mga side na kilala talaga. And paano po natin i-elevate yung collaboration sa mga artist na walang connection, kumbaga, lalong-lalo na po kung gusto talaga nilang makilala sa creative industry?
I have an answer to that. Who wants to? Sige. Sige. I have an answer to that. Sige. Let me just share the UK model para let's go. We are kasi what you call stage in the creative enterprise. We are stage 2. The UK stage 10. Okay, they are the best model of. Okay, let me just give in the UK, in the US, when you talk creative industry, it's Disney, Pixar's, Warner Brothers, and then there's Warner Music. They are the big players. It's very hard for us to imagine that we can be a Disney or a Pixar. It's possible, but it's 1 in a million. In the UK, the average creative enterprise is less than 5 employees. So it tells you, hindi nga siya, it's actually less than small eh. Ang small nga, nasa 10 employees eh. Nasa micro siya eh. So it's a micro entrepreneur who is in the creative industry. So what I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong in starting small. First you start small. But in the UK, imagine a creative enterprise or creative company with less than 5 employees can generate their average revenue there is about 7 million pesos. Eh. For those who are less than 5 employees. So imagine that can be done. But again, the way it works is don't work alone. Start with your own small group, and then it grows from there. Eh. So there's really in the creative industry, there's really strength in collaboration. So start small, kahit, don't worry about connections, they'll happen. Kasi yung isang connection mo, pag pinagsama mo yung 4 mong kaibigan, yung connection you know is times 5, times 5, times 5. It's a permutation. Right? So that if you're talking about connection and influence, you'll get it when you collaborate. And that was the UK model and it's been working. Yes.
Actually, just to talk about another double-edged sword, no? This might be the best time to compete against the big companies because distribution is democratized. If Disney puts something on YouTube, you can put something on YouTube also. So that's a double-edged sword, though, because now that any one of you can put content up on YouTube or wherever else, so can the rest of the world. So all of a sudden, there's millions and millions of people who can do the same thing you want to do. So in Spotify, for example, 20,000 songs are uploaded into Spotify every day. How do you rise above that noise? So I guess one of the things is when you collaborate, you make something unique. Diba? You have to pull yourself above that noise to create something that will connect to even if a small audience, but connect very well. Once you establish that connection, that can grow. So it's really about starting small, making a good connection and growing it. Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have any more time. Thanks, Christian. So I'm going to ask each panelist to give like para bang their own last words, inspirational or any lesson they want to impart on how we can all grow as the creative Philippines. You'll start, sir. Okay.
Would you allow me? Okay. I'm going to give you your highest award. Bigat nun, ano? Kung sakali hindi nyo alam kung ano man na relihiyon nyo. Pero, huwag nating nakukonfuse tayo eh. Huwag tayong umasa muna sa kaibigan kung kanino, sa sarili muna. Alamin muna natin yung kakayahan natin. Like you said, start from small. Less is more. Okay. Your highest award. There were students from Ateneo. Let's go and visit Mr. Villanueva first because he taught here for 30 years. Okay. Ang dami nila pumunta sa small gallery ko. I grouped them. I prepared a question and answer. After seeing everything, like the certificates, yung trophies, mga ganon-ganon, lahat sila nakapag-question na. Merong isa na kamuntik na ako himatayin. Grade 4. mga 10 years old or 9. Sir, what is your highest award? Oh my God. Ako, paano ko sasagutin to? Halangan naman magsinungaling ako. Kung adult, I can easily ignore dahil adult yun eh. Pero bata. Finally, siguro with the help of the Holy Spirit, yung relihiyon ko, pagyayabang ko, when the Lord created me, that's my highest award. I received the gift of life, love, talent, everything. So you yourself is the trophy. You don't have the right to complain. Just move on with your life. Go ahead. Mahal ka niya. Yun lang po.
Thank you. Who's next? Last words.
I think one of the things that I like from this discussion is collaboration. I encourage you to collaborate to form, probably with a Baguio Arts Creative Guild, and hopefully with a spirit of friendship and pagtutulungan, bayanihan, instead of competition. You can be incredibly strong and really go places.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I'll go a bit in a tangent for my last words. Basically, I think if any of you have read or seen Simon Sinek talk about the golden circle, it's not what you do, it's why you do it. What's your why? I think as artists who are going forth and making and being creative entrepreneurs, I think that's important because people don't buy what you have; they believe in what you believe. So if you're passionate about what you do, you know your why. They will see that, and it will grow. So I think that's my last words. Thanks.
Thank you. Butch?
Siguro yung last words ko is, make use of your time. Don't waste time. I've seen a lot of people who waste time. Every time I go on my Facebook, they say, feeling bored. Sayang eh, no? We only live 24 hours a day, and we don't know how long we are going to live. I always say, life is short, but life must be enjoyed. And we have to do something about it. We don't want to leave the next generation in a trash. We want to leave a generation that will keep on growing. And I think use your time wisely. Don't fret over negativism. Forget about the fake news. Those are a lot of fake. Be genuine. Have confidence in yourself. I was struck by that word, by that question of that young lady there. Connectivity. People will always connect with you once you have a high credibility that you maintain. When you respect yourself and when you respect others, they will follow you. But don't ever don't ever maintain that credibility in you, and people will follow. You don't have to be popular. You don't have to buy awards. You don't have to get titles. The titles will just come after you. People will run after you. People will crave for you. And that's something that I do. I started small. I'm an ex-OFW, doing nothing, but I started from scratch. I never knew anybody. I never met all these people. But all these people I knew because they were connecting with me. And so connectivities for me were, word of mouth is also powerful. I have competition is okay. Fine. It keeps your blood warm. Okay? But let it be. You have your own unique selling proposition, USP. So again, we are always here ready to serve. Mentors are always around. DTI, UP, Department of Tourism, everybody's here to help. But again, the only thing, if you don't help yourself, nobody can do it for you. It's just nobody but you.
Thank you, Butch.
Kala ko sasayaw ka pa eh.
If you had more time, he would.
Okay, as a digital commerce advocate myself, I'd encourage you to go online. It's a perfect venue for everyone. It's an even playing field. It's not like here in the physical world that whoever has money can conquer lands, can build structures. Online, whoever has the most genuine content would be the most successful. So I encourage you to go online. It allows you to become online 24/7, allows you to access the market, not only in the Philippines, whoever has interest with the kind of work that you're doing. It also allows you to have great level of flexibility because, you adjust to whenever you want to do your creation, especially if you're an artist, there's no specific time. In fact, tinatanong nga namin si Sir Benher, ano yung pinakamagandang oras? Sa kanya, wala. Kung kailan ko maisip, doon. So, internet actually provides you that kind of leverage. And lastly, do something about it. Don't tiptoe and to do your ideas. Just do something about it. Because, take action. Act about it. Because ACT stands for something. Action changes things. So, there. Good
Remember
morning.
that. ACT. Diba? Okay, thank you, MJ, Laida.
For me, ideas are important. And I urge you all to take courage in your ideas. You might think that your idea is kind of crazy, but that might be the one that will work.
Thank you. So the final words are with me. So, very simple lang. So if you want to be a creative entrepreneur, take advantage. There's a British Council, Thames International, and DTI scholarship. I have the forms here. You can get it from me. But I'll also leave it with UP. And we don't have a scholar yet from Baguio. We'd really like to have them. We have one from mostly Metro Manila, Cebu, and Davao. We'd really like to have scholars from the north, particularly Baguio. So do that. Forms are with me. So we will have a workshop after this by Sir Benhar. You need more words of wisdom. Take advantage. Again, take advantage. He's here. He'll do a workshop right after here. The panelists will now have to go to SM because there's a mentorship there. So once again, thank you everybody for being a great audience. Let's give all of our panelists a warm applause. And go creative, Baguio. Okay? Mag-award mo tayo.
Oo, mag-award.
Stay there raw. May mga awards raw tayo. May awards. The highest award will be given raw a highest award.
So we will now move on to the awarding of certificate. So we would like to call our panelists for today. So Sir Benhur, Sir Robert, Sir Christian Armand, Sir MJ Panganiban, and then Miss Adelaida Lim. So tayo po tayo to receive our certificate. Yeah. We would also like to call on Sir Joel to receive your certificate of appreciation with your token. May we call on Chancellor Revilios and ARD Grace to join our panelists on stage, please. Sir, join the photo.
Yeah.
Sir, sige po, line up po tayo. Sir. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to our panelists for imparting their valuable insights and expertise during the forum discussion on creativepreneurship, achieving prosperity through entrepreneurial creativity, given this 12th day of November 2018 at the Teatro Amianan University of the Philippines, Baguio. So again, thank you to all our panelists, and thank you all for being here. Later, we will have another event of Go Negosyo, so it's 1 to 7 p.m. at SM City, Baguio. So one more. All right. Okay. All right, thank you so much. So for those who would like to stay for the art workshop, You will remain on your seats. Yeah, it's for 20 minutes workshop by Ms. Benher. And then we encourage everyone to please pass your evaluation sheet sa TPB outside, the registration area. They will be giving away tokens for those na magpapasa ng kanilang evaluation sheet. Thank you. Sir, you need the table, di ba?
Ilan ang makuha siya?
Yes. Saan pa number mo eh? Okay. Okay. See you.